For this project, you can use any cutters that you guys have. I only suggest, like, you know, gathering them up in a theme. And so I'm going for a garden theme. And so I've selected my ladybug. This could be just any bug or a bee, a flower, a mushroom, and a butterfly. So this is a great project where you don't have to go shopping. You just dig through the cutters you have and, you know, find a nice set. I think this is a fun project for kids, but, you know, grown-ups would probably enjoy it as well. You could use, you know, like maybe for a baby shower, you could use the baby sets, and then for a wedding shower, bridal shower, you could do a cakes or, you know, anything appropriate. And so now I'm thinking for a kid party. So often, you know, when you think cookie decorating for children, you're mixing all these colors, and it, you know, becomes quite a preparation for the children, and you're, you know, having to watch them and everything, and it becomes quite a process, and with younger children it's complicated. This is a great project for young kids, and even older ones. They'll feel like their cookie is prettier faster. You know, they can have a finished product that looks more professional. So here I've traced out my cutters, and then I just drew them out how I would like them to look if I was designing a coloring page. So you have to remember when you're designing a coloring page that you need area to color. So here the ladybug has, you know, circles, so they could be all different colors in the face, some dots on the mushroom, you know, things that will require some attention by the artist. So here I'm showing the butterfly. I've done some lines and things, so I'm going to show you a finished one over here. So here is the butterfly cookie done in black and white. So now what I've done is it's just 20-second icing, and I'm just tilting it so you can see it's all flush. I dropped the black icing in like flow icing, and so now I've created a coloring page for a child, or even adults would probably like to color this, and so with markers you'll be able to fill in the blanks. I'm going to show you how to do that. Here's a flower cookie, and I'm going to show you how to do this technique for the coloring page cookies. So you follow the edge of the cookie as closely as you can. If your cookie recipe tends to be kind of like to lose its shape a bit, doesn't matter, because the outline that you're going to draw in with the black is the actual coloring page line. This is just a base for the icing to sink in. It's important to put the black line in while the white icing is still wet, so that we get the sinking of the color, so that when the cookie is colored on, there isn't that edge. Because if you add your black outlining after, then you're going to create, you know, like that, it's raised, and so it'll be trickier to color. You want it to be flat, 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 like the wet on wet color flow, whatever you want to call it, technique. And I've just quickly flooded my cookie. It's on the thick side, but I'll make do. I thought it was a little bit runnier, but I guess in the end it'll keep my black lines sharper if it's like this. Now, because I'm putting black icing in this white icing, some of you might have issues with bleeding. I personally do not, but if you do, maybe you'd want to get yourself a little fan to blow on the cookie so that the surface dries faster. It's when the drying process, you know, is dragged out due to humidity. Sometimes that'll create some bleeding issues. Okay, so now I'm drawing a circle in the middle of the flower, and I just wanted to create a swirl. This is a coloring page, so we want it to have, you know, some things to do, to focus on. So here Now I'm drawing the petals. It's at your discretion what you want to do. This would be a really fun thing to bring if you were going over to a friend's house for supper. Make a batch of these. If they have children, bring a pack of edible markers, and the kids will be busy making dessert while you guys visit, and you'll have them out of your hair. So like I said, it's important to right away now do this black that I'm doing, or it won't sync and it won't create this coloring page. Here I'm going to do dots at the end of these lines. This tip is a 1.5, the black one. There we go. Now I'm going to come back with the white inside of these, and you see now I'm creating something to color by adding the white. They can do a color variation in these little circles. And you see you get the black outline. It would be impossible to do like drawing the circles in such a small tip, but this way you're achieving the same thing and it's much more uniform. And there you go, a really fun coloring project. Here I've got a ladybug outlined. I'm going to quickly fill my ladybug with my white flood icing. So obviously you could, just make these cookies white and let them go to town with the markers, and sometimes with the older children that's fine. But I think that with the younger children they'd enjoy this, and if you were bringing this as a gift, I think having it as a coloring page would create a more kind of gift feel than just blank cookies, And if you're having girls' night, maybe just coffee and stuff, have the girls color dessert as you chit-chat. I think it would be an enjoyable evening. You might get some orders for parties and stuff. I like the idea that there's not, I like the idea that there's not a mess, The icing is contained. There is no icing. And so now here the white is all done. So here is the head. I'm going to start here, I guess, and draw kind of an oval shape. I'm eyeballing this. Now it doesn't have to be perfect. So from here I'm going to make the line to the wing here, and then here the body, and you follow the curve for the other wing, and here's your legs. You can draw them like this instead of just a line, so they have something. Always remembering they need something to color. So here they're going to have some little shapes to color. Here you could leave the face blank and have them be able to do it, or you can make the face yourself. Here's some antennae. And now the dots on the ladybug's back. So I'm just doing black dots And now I'm coming with the white, placing myself on the black dot, inserting my tip and squeezing, and you see my black dot gets bigger. It's perfectly round. And now they'll be able to come in and color that. Keep squeezing till you like the size. There you go. And so I'm thinking here, I'm going to make hearts, so I'm going to drag my toothpick. Make sure you clean it. Wipe it with your hand, I should say. And you see some hearts that they'll be able to come in and color. Now just bang it so that it gets flat. Oh yeah, I wanted to put some white here on the end of the antenna so they could color that, and a little bit inside the eyes. And there we go. So you just bang that till it gets flat, and then here I can hold it so you can see, you see? That'll be a flat surface for them to be able to color. Here's a shape we don't get to use often, which is fun in a garden theme. I've got a couple of these mushroom cutters, and I like them, but, you know, not that many orders for mushrooms. So if you have one, this is maybe the time to dust it off. So you just have to flood the cookie. So you don't have to be super decorator to do this, you know. Once the outline is in, really it's the coloring markers that are going to be the real decoration to the cookie. Just try your best to keep your lines, you know, clean. Drop them in. Don't drag your tip into your icing. If you can manage to pipe from above and have the icing drop in, it'll look fine. So here we go. Now I'm just going to create my outlines so that we have something to color. There we go. Here's the base. So here, if you want, you can just do a line like this, and then with your toothpick, drag up, creating like a grass area, and so they'll have the bottom, the color here a different color than the mushroom. And now some dots like we see on mushrooms. I was Googling them. They all seem to have some sort of polka dot kind of design. So the more dots you create, the more they'll be to color. So when you fill in the black, push your tip in, and it makes the size bigger. Your little black line becomes thinner, but it doesn't matter. These little ones. And there you go. So you can just bang out the little peaks and the dots, and there you go. That's a cute design to color. Before proceeding to the next step of the coloring page cookies, I just wanted to show you them dry. So here you can see it's completely flush, and everything is really nice and flat. And because I got the black nice and dark, it will be really easy for a child to stay inside the lines. See the two flowers here. You see even I feel the little bumps elevated a bit, but I don't think it'll really hamper anything with regards to the coloring. I actually Googled some of these coloring cookies last night, and everybody was on the same page with regards to saying the children really enjoyed doing it, but unfortunately that the cookies didn't taste very good. And so often those types of products will stay on the shelf, and you know, if it's your cookies, you know what the kids are eating and that it's fresh and good. And there you go, the mushroom here. See the nice grass area, the dots, and the two butterflies, the last ones that I'll focus on here. You can see it's completely flat. It'll be a lot of fun for the kids to sit and, you know, color these in, and they can feel like they really made cookies. To go along with your coloring page cookies, you're going to need something to color them with, and I suggest you purchase these, the AmeriColor food color markers. These markers are filled with food color. AmeriColor makes really great gels for food like icing, and I really like their airbrush color. So this comes in a sealed packet. Here you have to cut it. I guess they keep them airtight so that they don't dry out. And you can see here you get a nice assortment of colors. I got my markers from Confections. I'll post the link so that you can find it. And so I'm going to show you on this cookie. There we go. So the markers have a very nice tip. How do you find that the markers color?
I think that they slide well, and we don't have to really push to get any color there.
Yeah, and have you noticed that they don't really make like lines when you color?
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
It's pretty good, yeah.
And how much do you like to do this project?
Well, it's really fun, I find, because it's kind of hard to do it with icing, because you have to push really hard, but when you do this, it's just like you're coloring.
And what about you, sir? All right, is that smile? Give me that smile again. And do you like this project?
Yes.
You do? And what about the markers? How do you find the markers go?
They're great.
Do you find they're even better than your Crayolas you use at school?
Which Crayolas?
Well, like the normal crayons when you go at school and you color on paper.
They're better.
They're easier to use? Well, that's good. Your ladybug is looking nice.